Welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to be talking about the structure of your Facebook ads because every single ad that you create has three different layers with three different functions that work off of each other. Now, a lot of the things that we're going to go through here are going to make a lot more sense as we move on in the course. So don't worry about understanding everything from the very beginning. Just get a basic understanding of how this works. So, from the very beginning, if we look to the left, there are three different layers. We have a campaign that we're currently setting up. We have an ad set, and then we have an ad, or also known as an ad creative. Let's take it from the very beginning. Now, the ad campaign is going to decide two things primarily. Number one, what is the goal of your ad? And number two, what is the budget of your ad? When you've decided on those two, and we already decided on one, we're going to have a direct to offer, and it's going to be for a digital marketing course. Next up, we're going to be setting up our budget a little bit later on in the course. And once we've set that budget, that is going to affect all of your ad sets and all of your ad creatives. So you're going to have one campaign, but you might have 5 different ad sets. And if you set a budget for $10 a day, then all of these ad sets underneath are going to share those $10 a day. So that means that it works in a hierarchy. All of the options that you select here, all of the decisions you make affects all of your ad sets and all of your ad creatives. So the higher up the decision, that decision affects everything down below. So the ad campaign is all about deciding the actual goal of your ad and the budget for the rest of your ad and all of your upcoming ads. The ad set, which is one level below the campaign, is about your targeting. This is where you decide who you actually want to target with your ads. This used to be super complicated back in the days. We used to go into the ad set, scroll down to where it says audience, and we'd set the location, the age, the gender. We'd go into detailed targeting and target very specific people. We'd exclude certain behaviors. Used to be super difficult to do and target correctly. And then down the line, Facebook would just remove targeting and then you'd lose your profitable ads. Today, this is easier than ever because everything is automated. And I'm going to show you as we move on in the course how you can set this up faster and easier than ever with much better results for a much lower cost. It's quite amazing. But when it comes to your ad set, that is all about your targeting, who you want to target and what you're going to use for the targeting placement, such as where do you want your ads to show up. The final level is going to be your ad creatives. And your ad creatives is the actual look of your ad. You can have one ad creative that's a video, you can have another one that's an image, another one that's a carousel. And now remember, this works in a hierarchy, so different ad sets can have different ad creatives in them. You can have one ad set that targets a US audience that's going to have 5 specific videos. Then you can have another ad set that targets maybe a Canadian audience that's going to have 5 images specifically. But all of those ad sets and all of those creatives will work from the very same budget as the campaign budget that we set up here. So as you can see, everything is going to be working in layers in a hierarchy. So all the decisions we make up here will affect everything down below here. Now, for us specifically, we are going to be using the 3-2-2 method, meaning that the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to set up our campaign here that we're going to continue on with in the next lecture. Then we're going to be creating a winning ad set where we're going to be saving all of our winning ads, and we are going to be finding out what an actual winning ad is down here in the actual ad creative. So we're going to be doing a lot of testing. So there's going to be one ad set where we collect all of our winning ad creatives, and then we're going to have 2 additional ad sets that's going to be testing ad sets where we're just going to throw in a bunch of new ad creatives and see if any one of those are profitable. And those that are profitable are going to be thrown into the winning ad sets. So we're going to have 3 different ad sets. 1 where we only have winning ad creatives, and 2 where we're only going to be testing ad creatives to see if we can find any winners. If we find any winners, we put that in the winner ad creative. So this is how the structure works. And once again, don't worry about understanding everything now. It's going to make a lot more sense as we go through this course. So for now, to continue setting up our ad campaign, all we need to do is scroll down, make sure we have sales selected and we've set our ad name. The catalog, that is only if you want to add in all of your different products from an e-commerce as a catalog that Facebook can choose from. We're not going to do that because we want a little bit more control. We can select show more options in here and see if we want to add in a campaign spending limit. I recommend that you don't, because when you start finding those winning ad sets and really scaling, because remember, the winning ad set will be down here regulated by this campaign budget, you don't want it to hit a limit and you start losing money just because you set a limit early on. So I don't recommend that you do that. An A/B test means that you can take two different variables in an ad set and test them towards each other. For example, one ad set with men only, one ad set with women only, and see which one that works the best. I'm going to show you how to automate all of that and make that process so much easier in the upcoming lectures. So we're not going to need to use the A/B test. This takes a lot longer time and gives you a lot less data. And then finally, we have the Advantage campaign budget, and that is what we're going to be going through in the next lecture. And by the way, if there are any additional options in here, for example, special ad categories is something right now, we don't need to set that up. And we also have campaign details for the buying type, meaning how are you going to sell your ads. We have it by default auction, meaning the highest paying bidder are going to target the right audience. It's all automated. But there are going to be some difference. For some of you, this might look different. This might be placed differently. This might not exist at all. This might actually have a show more or an edit button up here to access. Don't worry about things looking different. Facebook changes the interface all the time. It's all fine. That doesn't mean that what we're going through is outdated. It just means that Facebook is constantly testing new interfaces. For now, all we need to do is scroll down and then prepare to learn about the Advantage campaign budget, because this is a big one. See you in the next lecture.